From where the Valley of Vine meets the Coastal Redwood Corridor, we have live baseball action here in Ukiah at Anton Stadium. A beautiful evening here. The Ukiah Wildcats will play host to the Cardinal Newman Cardinals. Wildcats trying to steal Game 3 of the three-game league series for the Cardinals. Newman took Game 1 back in March, Game 2 last week, and then this game, which was originally scheduled for Friday and then postponed to today, will play host to game number 3. We don't have a lineup for Ukiah just yet, so we'll get that for you. But we do have the Cardinal Newman batting order, and we'll run through that. Hugo Traverso alongside Ethan Bowers here. For the Cardinals, it is going to be Colin Bone leading off, playing short. Batting second, Jace Woolley, the second baseman. Will Pratt will be the designated hitter, batting third. Cleanup is Jamie Vozaitis at third base. Batting fifth is Caden Owen, the first baseman. Batting sixth, the catcher, Jacob Wood. Batting seventh, Brody Cameron in left field. Right field is Aiden Thistle, batting eighth. And rounding out the lineup, the guy who's going to turn it over, and a very good guy to turn it over, Devlin Chavez, the speedy center fielder. So that rounds out the Cardinal Newman lineup. We'll get an official pitcher for Ukiah. It was listed as Brody Ford, number 4, but unfortunately, not a lot of confidence with that because he is yet to pitch. And we also saw Josh Mellis warming up in the pen for Ukiah. Looked really good this year. 2.14 ERA, 1-0, 7 appearances, a win percentage of 1,000. He's got 19 2/3 innings pitched, 15 hits, 8 runs, 6 earned, 2 walks, 16 strikeouts. So a great ratio there. He has given up a bomb here at Ukiah. 370 to center field. 289 to the right field line. Can't exactly see left field, but got a nice game and a great setting here, Ethan.
Yeah, Anton Stadium's always very beautiful, and we got some pretty good matchups on the bump tonight. Markey Douglas, the sophomore for Cardinal Newman, last start against Liberty, 63 pitches, 2 earned runs, and 7 Ks in 3 1/3 innings pitched. And so I'm very excited to see what he does tonight.
Yeah, Markey should be solid. Well, who are you looking at through the Cardinal Newman batting order?
Well, what's not to talk about? I mean, the front runner right now for me, obviously, has been Jamie Vozaitis, who is 12 for his last 15 at-bats with a couple of walks in there, just getting that on-base streak up. He has a 486 batting average so far this year, so he's going to be very interesting to watch. Yeah, and I mean, the reassurance seen there by putting Caden Owen back in the lineup, playing first base. He's been a guy who's a regular guy for them, so he's batting in the 5-hole. I know you're excited about that. Excited to see him back as the sun is beginning to set here. Official sunset time will be around 7, so it'll be about mid-game, but it's going to be a good game. And Newman, you know, they're coming out with an incredible first 5. Bone, he's been red hot this year. Jace Woolley, who can just catch fire. Will Pratt, who's been a very, very surprisingly great bat for the Cardinals. And then obviously, as you mentioned, Jamie in the cleanup spot. And Caden Owen. Jacob Wood also has some power that not a lot of people really know about. So he could be very solid for Newman. Cardinals look very good. For Ukiah on the other side, it's going to be the George Gibbs show. While he's got a 191 ERA on the bump, he has been exceptional for them at the plate. Gibbs so far this year is batting .442 in 43 at-bats, 15 runs scored, 19 hits, 20 RBIs, 2 doubles, 4 triples, and 2 homers. So he's going to be the player to watch for the Wildcats, who are going to be at home here. Players will line up along the foul line for the playing of the national anthem.
So that rendition of the national anthem played for us here at Anton Stadium. We have the official defensive lineup for Ukiah. The Wildcats are, in fact, going to start Jackson Mellis on the mound today. Mellis will be completed by Connor Cleary, the sophomore in the battery, making up the battery. At first base for Ukiah, it will be Bo David. He is a very, very good athlete, one of the best here at Ukiah, exceptional quarterback. At second base, it'll be Ivan Castro. We're just copying these down into my book here. Got the wrong lineup. Now finally getting the right one. Thank you, Coach Benedetti. Here we go. Yeah, it'll be Castro at second. At shortstop, and the man leading off, it is going to be Deegan Dawkins. We'll get through the Ukiah batting order in just a moment here, but we'll get it through that when the Wildcats come up. It'll be George Gibbs out in left field today. The man at third, though, is going to be Chase Galletti. And then, of course, the outfield is going to be Gibbs, Adams, and Ford. So, got Ollie Adams out there in center. DH is going to be Robbie Carippo, excuse me. So now Colin Bone will come to the plate. Wind is blowing out into left field. 393, the left field alley. Bone steps in, and the umpire says play ball. Here we go. The first pitch is just across the ankles, a ball one. 5:33 is your official start time. Attendance seems to be about 200 people. And the weather currently, as the second pitch to Bone is in there across the knees, called strike. The weather here is a nice 58 degrees, mostly sunny. That pitch is low. Ball two. 2-1 now to Colin Bone. Mellis kicks and fires. That one is inside. Bone launches that one through. 3-1 now the count to Colin Bone. Great leadoff man here for the Cardinals. Here's the pitch, and that one is fouled off to the right and out of play. 3-2, so taking him the distance to start things off. Here comes the pitch to Bone. Bone watches that one go outside, and he walks to start the game. Great start for the Cardinals. Great at bat there from Bone. Ethan, what did you say? That was amazing.
Yeah, Bone's has a great eye. I mean, 305 batting average and 2 strike counts with over 5 walks. So he clearly knows what he's doing up there. And stepping up, we have Jace Woolley, who is currently hitting .459. He's been on a little hot streak recently.
Yeah, he's been incredible. Short, stout, strong, right-handed hitter. They'll check on the runner at first. Bone early in there. Bone held on the bag by Bo David. Mellis looks in, gets the sign from Cleary. Checks on the runner, comes center. And he steps off. Bone will just kind of play a little game of chicken as he stands there about 8 feet from the first base bag. Mellis now checks on the runner, retoes the slab, the pitch. This one is grounded hard. Play almost made, but it sneaks under the glove of Dawkins at short. And the Cardinals table setters do what they do best. A leadoff walk and then a single. Runners on first and second with nobody out for the Cardinals, and Will Pratt coming to the plate. So now it will be
Will Pratt coming to the plate for the Cardinals. Pratt, left-handed hitter. Stares down Mellis on the mound. Takes his stance. Mellis comes center. Checks on the runner at second. He fires. Pratt shows bunt, and it goes foul off to the left. Nice bunt, but it just trickled left. Rain here over the weekend has muddled what was a very, very dry field when Cardinal Newman's JV team played here last week, according to JV head coach Tom Harlan. So Newman getting a little bit of some muddy conditions here as they travel. Mellis looks in. Checks on Bone. Now stares down again. He will check back. And he stepped off to throw, but he never actually let the ball leave his hand as Bone was back in time. Bone was trying to finesse a balk out of that. Here comes the pitch to Pratt. Runners on first and second for the Cardinals. Nobody out. Mellis checks on Bone again. He will step off now as Ukiah went into their bunt formation. The shortstop, Dawkins, came across as the third baseman, Galletti, went in to play the bunt down the left field line, but it was very interesting. So now Bone takes a big lead. Again, they go into their bunt formation. They'll check back at Bone. A third time, Bone is back in safely. So, yeah, so they have Galletti coming in, and then Dawkins circles second base and goes and covers third. So, interesting bunt formation. Pretty straight up infield here for Ukiah against Pratt, the left-handed hitter. Big gap. First baseman playing in on the grass, and he hits that one into shallow center field, and it drops. Coming around the bend is Bone. He is going to be held up as the throw home was more than in time. Oh, my goodness, what a cannon out there from Ollie Adams. But base is juice now for the hottest hitter in this Cardinal Newman lineup, Jamie Volzaitis. So early trouble here for Ukiah. Base is juiced with nobody out, and Jamie Volzaitis, the power alley coming through. Volzaitis, Owen, and then Jacob Wood. Volzaitis, the righty. The first pitch to him, he grounds that one down the left field line and fair. That one's trickling into the corner by the 339 side. One run scores. Coming around to the bend is Woolley. He will score. Into third is going to be Will Pratt, and checking into second, breaking his name onto the scoreboard and onto the scorebooks. The Cardinals take a 2-0 lead behind Jamie Volzaitis. A 2-run double. And the Cardinals are in business with nobody out. And that's going to encourage the Ukiah pitching coach to head out there and talk with Jackson Mellis. That ERA going to trickle up a little bit here from 214. A very unlikely start here from Mellis, but Newman has just been so dominant. You guys have played such a tough non-league schedule. It's really helped you in league. I mean, you guys just went to the Boris, Ethan. What was that experience like, playing against some of the best players in California?
You know, it's a great experience. You learn a lot. You know, outcomes sometimes not what you want, but it's a great learning experience and helps you really get that strong mindset for league, and it's been panning out for us so far.
Yeah, well, we'll see as it continues to pan out. Runners on second and third with nobody out. Caden Owen comes to the plate. Tall left-handed hitter playing first base today. Had a bit of an absence for the Cardinals, but comes back now. He's retaking that first base job. Here comes the first pitch from Mellis, the tall righty to the tall lefty. First one is outside to Owen. Across the belt, but just a bit outside. Mellis checks on the pitch now.
Lined up the middle, and it'll drop. Will Pratt will cruise on home, and Caden Owen with an RBI single right back to it. A great way to return. It was a line drive up the middle that just dropped shallow of Ollie Adams' glove. And now Caden Owen into first. Runners on the corners of the Cardinals continue this rally. 3-0 the score. Now Jacob Wood, as Mellis steps off to check on the runners. Everyone back safely. Wood, right-handed hitter, a lot of power. Catcher, junior. Here's the pitch. Out one, upstairs. Across the collarbone from Mellis. Here comes the pitch to Wood. And that one in there, called strike, clips the outside part of the zone. Great pitch there. Here comes the pitch. That one is grounded shallow to third base. Coming in on it, making the play on a great throw to first is Chase Galetti. It doesn't matter much, though, as the Cardinals played another run. Jamie Volzaitis comes across as Jacob Wood checks in with an RBI ground out. Almost was like a swinging bunt there, but it does its job. Plates a run, and Caden Owen into scoring position now for Brody Cameron, who has definitely had himself a bit of a position change moving from the infield to the outfield. Ethan, it was a kind of a change. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, from what I've been told, he's been working in the outfield a lot. You know, he's a great guy. He's a glue guy. He's a very young and very athletic player to have in your lineup, and obviously to fill roles and to make sure he gets in that such star-studded lineup, he's got to work with what he can.
Here we go. Cameron, 1-0 count, 0-1 count to him, excuse me. Mellis checks on Owen at second. Mellis steps off, picks back to second. Owen in there safely. Here's the pitch, and that one is in there. Called strike to Cameron. So Mellis finally finding it. His first two-strike count since facing Bone to start the game. Cardinals are seeing him very, very well. Here comes the pitch to Cameron. Nope, he will step off again. Check over on the runner. Owen back in safely. Cameron so far this year batting 176. Brought home a run, though, on a nice single against Whitney a few weeks back. Here's the pitch to Cameron. Cameron lines this one between the first and second base gap into right field. The throw-in is going to be cut off, and Caden Owen comes around the bend to score. 5-0 Cardinals. Newman off to a great start in a week where they only have one league home game, or excuse me, one league game in general. They play two home games after this against both teams from Novato and San Marin. San Marin's game on Thursday will be on YSN 365, and then Novato's game on Saturday at 10 a.m. before Newman's prom will be at on YouTube right here. Now they will check back on Cameron as Aiden Thistle steps into the batter's box. Thistle this year batting .208 with 2 RBIs and a double. Cameron leads away at first. The pitch from Mellis. And Thistle early on that one as he fouls it off to the right. Got to check on who's in the bullpen. Can't tell from right here.
but looks like it could be Van Oy, as this one is grounded up the middle. Play is made by the second baseman. Throw to short for one. On the way to first. Not in time. Thistle reaches on the fielder's choice. And now it will be Devlin Chavez. Chavez this year, he's been a great way to turn the lineup over for the Cardinals. Transferred in from Maria Carrillo after being with Newman for a year. Ethan has a little bit more on Chavez.
Yeah, Devlin's a great guy to have in the lineup. Very versatile. He can play the infield. He can play the outfield when needed. You can see he's starting in center. Great move to put him in center field. Very agile. 200 batting average. Things haven't gone his way so far, but you got to think about the clutch. He is a great slap hitter, great guy that with a great approach of up the middle.
Chavez grounds this one up the middle. Second baseman makes the play on to first to retire the side, but the Cardinals go through their batting order completely and plate 5 runs on 5 hits, no errors, and only 1 runner left on base. So solid start for Newman. We'll stay right here as the Cardinals will now have to play defense against a very good Ukiah batting order, which we'll have in just a moment. Well, for the Wildcats, it is going to be Devon Dawkins leading off. He is playing shortstop. Chase Galletti bats second, playing third base. George Gibbs, the lethal man in left field, batting third. Connor Cleary, the catcher, batting cleanup. Robbie Caripo, the DH, batting fifth. Batting sixth, Ivan Castro, the second baseman. Bo David, the big first baseman, batting seventh. Batting eighth is Brody Ford, the right fielder. And batting ninth, Ollie Adams in center field. Take a break here and be back. Because I muted it after the national anthem and then it just never came back on. Just be swinging. It's just fine. It really needs to be on and you hope you will play it.
Take another one of these packages out of the freezer and put it in the fridge.
And we're back, and Marky Douglas toes the slab for the Cardinals. Ethan Douglas has had himself an incredible year. Really had to step into that starting ace pitcher role as a sophomore, and he's been excellent.
Yeah, the injury bug has been hitting this team pretty hard. Anthony Azevedo, who will be back to ace form, had a shoulder injury, and Legend has been slow, not off to a great start so far, but he's a great guy to have once he gets hot. Marky Douglas has a 2.8 ERA in 6 appearances so far, with 33 Ks in 27 innings pitched. So this is a great batting matchup against the sophomore to really solidify himself as the ace of this team.
Yeah, now the umpire says play ball. Devon Dawkins steps in. Here's the pitch. Dawkins takes that one in at the ankles for called ball 1. Douglas looks in, collects himself, comes center, kicks and fires. That one is just inside, and Dawkins early into a hitter's count here, 2-0. Douglas, center, he delivers. This one is grounded down the right field line. Play is made great by Caden Owen on the backhand. He collects it, comes to the bag, and it is an unassisted play by the first baseman that opens the game for the Cardinals on defense. Newman's defensive lineup is going to be Douglas and Jacob Wood making up the battery. Caden Owen at first base, Jace Woolley at second, Vozaitis at third, Bone at shortstop makes up your infield. Left to right in the outfield, Brody Cameron, Devlin Chavez, and Aiden Thistle. First pitch from Douglas to Chase Galletti is in there for a called strike. Douglas gets his sign. Comes center, kicks, and fires. That one is low for ball one. 1-1 now. Here's the pitch coming to Galletti, the righty. He fires. That one is outside. So 2-1 early on in the at-bat. Here comes the delivery from Douglas. He kicks and delivers. Swing, and this one is fouled straight back. Just a little right of the grandstand here at Anton Stadium. Ukiah has a great complex here, reminiscent of Healdsburg's Rec Park with its dimensions. Short porch out in right field. Plays nicely for lefties. Here's the pitch. This one is fouled off and to the right, headed towards the Ukiah bullpen. Wildcats have quite a few guys ready to go just in case. But we could see Van Oy come in. Only 2 appearances, but a 1.75 ERA. Douglas collects himself and fires. This one is a high fastball hit straight up on the infield. Coming in is Douglas. He is just about 10 feet shy of the plate, and he makes the catch. 2 down. So now it brings up George Gibbs. Pretty solid. The Cardinals can get through this Ukiah lineup 1, 2, 3. It brings up the top of the order in the second, which becomes a mess for the Wildcats depending on who they decide to go with in the second inning. Don't know if they'll send Mellis back out there, as this first pitch to Gibbs is hit high, long, deep left field, way back there, and gone! George Gibbs leaves the yard, and the Wildcats are on the board. Pitch at the knees, and Gibbs sends that one into another hemisphere. Tough start there. And now Ukiah will try to build off of that. Douglas has that nice cushion had that 5-run lead, now down to 4, but still some cushion for him to work. The first pitch now to Cleary, the lefty. He blows that one past him. Cleary swing and a miss for strike 1. Cleary, lefty. Douglas kicks and fires. That one is outside and low. 2-1 here to Connor Cleary. The pitch now. That one is inside. So a 2-1 count now to Cleary, batting .321 on the year with 4 doubles and 8 RBIs. Here's the pitch. Swing, and this one's grounded right up the middle. Great play made by Woolley at second. Throw on the way to first in time, and the Cardinals get out of the inning. 1 run on 1 hit, no errors, nobody left on for the Wildcats as they draw blood with George Gibbs on a nice towering drive into left field and left the yard. We'll be right back with the second inning as the Cardinals look to build on this lead. And we're back, so Mellis will stay on the mound despite that 5-run first inning, and it will be Colin Bone to lead off. He took Mellis the distance and worked a walk out of it. So hopefully Mellis has gotten a bit of a talking to from his Ukiah pitching coach. Maybe coming back down and going to throw some strikes. Here's the first pitch, and that is a nice surprise there for Ukiah. First pitch, called strike across the belt buckle of Bone. Mellis kicks and fires. This one is hit a high pop fly into center field. Coming in on it is Adams, and he will make the catch, one down to start the inning here for Ukiah. Wildcats wearing their black uniforms, U-Town across the chest, gold trimming, black pants. Newman, Cardinal red jerseys, script Newman across the chest, white numbering, white trim, gray pants with red trim. Ukiah loved their uniforms. They wore these at Oracle Park a couple years ago. It was a great game. Here's the pitch. That one, check swing by Woolley. Called strike, he went around. Great breaking ball there by Mellis. That game was a very special game. 4-1 victory for the Cardinals over the Wildcats, but Ukiah packed the stands, made it like a Ukiah home game. Here's the pitch. That one is down low to Woolley. Of course, some collegiate superstars played in that game. Jack Pizzolo, Tanner Bradley. A man that was hanging out in the bullpen was Josh Janicelli. Here's the pitch. That one is grounded hard to short. Picked up by Dawkins. Throw on to first in time. Should be a very big confidence boost for Mellis if he can get a nice quick inning here out of that. Had the privilege of calling that game at Oracle, and when I saw this game get postponed last week, I was in Paris, France, but when I saw it get postponed, I wanted to see if it would be today or tomorrow, because regardless, I'm in Ukiah, and it was today, so I got the chance to broadcast it. Here's the pitch from Mellis. This one is lined right to shortstop. Great play made by Dawkins. And Will Pratt is retired. Ukiah retires the side in order. And a big pick-me-up for Jackson Mellis. Will step aside and be right back. Bottom of the second is looming here. Ukiah will try and strike back. 5-1 Cardinals lead. And we're back. Second inning underway. Bottom of the second here. Marky Douglas back out, toeing the slab. Ukiah has, and what is a very nice thing to see if you're a Wildcat fan, they have pulled their guys out of their bullpen. And they're going to see what Jackson Mellis can do. He had a great second inning to bounce back off of that terrific offensive first inning for the Cardinals and what was a pretty bad first inning for him. But he'll see what he can do. And Ukiah, who got their solo shot from George Gibbs, will try and build off of that, as it will be Carippo, Castro, and David to start things off for the Wildcats. Carippo, the DH, will stand in, right-handed hitter. He's got that Malibu-themed bat, as the first pitch is a fastball blown right past him. Carippo, looks like a bat that could be like Georgia Coast or California Coast. Here's the pitch. That one is in there across the knees. Douglas shoving early here. 0-2. Pink bat with a like peachy orange handle. Cripple waits. Douglas kicks and delivers. This one is a high chopper. Played on the hop. Oh, it goes in and out of the glove of Colin Bone. We'll see what they're going to label that one. And then high chopper as Cripple leads off. I have to check on Game Changer. As now Ivan Castro steps to the plate. Here's the pitch. Castro shows bunt. Hits it right up the middle. Douglas charges in to make the play. Throw on to first in time. But some classic small ball being shown here by Ukiah as that great sacrifice bunt from Castro moves up the runners. We'll see. That was listed as a hit for Robbie Carippo. So now Bo David will step in. David, lethal man on the football field, led Ukiah to an NCS championship appearance with head coach Paul Cronin, but now just on the baseball side to complete his senior year. The pitch, swing and a miss, tried to check it, but couldn't hold up. Douglas collects himself. He's taking a lot more time between pitches in this second inning as opposed to that first inning. Was working rather fast. Here comes the pitch. Swing, and that one is fouled off to the right. Almost hits the Ukiah coach sitting over there. We got a bit of an estimation on Gibbs' home run, about 300. And it was down to the 339 marker, so about 355 feet for Gibbs on a towering shot for him. They're going to have to crawl through the forest to get that one. Douglas kicks and fires. That one is upstairs across the collarbone at David. 1-2. Runner on second for the Wildcats with one down. Brody Ford on deck. Douglas collects his signs and kicks and fires. The pitch, swinging, that one is fouled on the ground, straight back to the backstop. David is battling. David, one of the most talented athletes to ever come out of Ukiah High School in the past decade. Here comes Douglas, he fires. And David watches that one strike right through the strike zone for a called strike three and your first strikeout of the game for both teams. Marky Douglas collects himself his first on a nice little called strike looking. It was a fastball right across the knees. Froze up Bo David. And now it'll be Brody Ford coming to the plate. Douglas collects, kicks and fires. That one, a nice breaking ball that falls right into the strike zone for a called strike one. Robbie Carippo over at second, taking quite the lead. Here comes the pitch from Douglas. Swing, that one is fouled. Choppy back. Bangs off of the mask of Wood. Douglas stares into the glove and the signs of Wood. The 0-2. Douglas kicks and delivers. That one's outside, try to get him to chase. So Douglas now here in the second inning with a runner in scoring position, trying to retire the side. Collects himself, checks on the runner, kicks and fires. This one is lined up the middle. It will get down into center field. Coming around the bend is Carippo. He will come home. Owen will throw it home. The tag, he is safe. So Brody Ford, a nice single that brings home a run, and Ukiah keeps ever so closer. 5-2. Now the score for the Cardinals. And now Ollie Adams will step to the plate. Ukiah now going to reconvene in the bullpen. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, and a beautiful pitch in the dirt. Adams having some trouble with that one. Runner on first is Ford. 5-2 Cardinal lead here. Here's the pitch. That one skips in the dirt, trying to get him to chase again. Adams spits at it, though. Cameron. Douglas looks in. He fires. That one's outside. Adams, the left-handed hitter. Really 2-1 count to him. Here comes the pitch. Nope, he's going to check back on the runner at first. Douglas looks in. Nope, he's going to go right back to first. But back in there is Ford. So far, so good for the right fielder over at first base. Takes a big league again, trying to get in the head of Douglas. The pitch. Check swing. He did not go. So now 3-1 now to Adams. Douglas collects himself. The pitch. In there, called strike. Ford pretended like he was going on the pitch. He will be going now. 3-2. Douglas collects the pitch. Swing. This one is grounded right down the right field line. Collected cleanly by Caden Owen as he'll take it to the bag. So 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, 1 runner left on base for the Wildcats as we head to the 3rd inning. Ukiah creeps closer. 5-2 your score now. So 2nd time through the order now, and it is going to be Jamie Voltaitis, Caden Owen, and then Jacob Wood for the Cardinals. Back on the mound is Jackson Mellis. Really great 2nd inning after that 5-run 1st inning. Caused Bone to fly out to center. Woolley to ground out to short, and then Will Pratt lined to shortstop. When he comes back up, Ethan has a little bit to say about his luck this year, which has just been so tough. Here's the first pitch to Volzaitis. Beautiful breaking ball, gets the bat going early. Strike one to Volzaitis. He doubled, brought home 2 runs last time up. Owen now on deck. He had a single and brought home Volzaitis. As there is a called strike to another breaking ball. Mellis working a lot more with that breaking ball. Saw him warming up. He has a nice changeup. We're working a lot more with that slurve. Here's the pitch. Swing, and this one is a high chopping grounder. Makes the play at third, and they're going to call it foul. Galletti charged in on that one and made the play on it. Yeah, it was definitely foul, but he just wanted to do it for the love of the game. He's been a good third baseman. It went in and out of his glove. So now Volzaitis comes back. He will stand in. It'll be righty, lefty, righty for the Cardinals against the righty Mullers. The pitch. This one is another swinging ground ball. Creeps under the glove of the first baseman and the second baseman and into shallow right field. Ford came in to cut it off, but into first with a lead-off single is Jamie Volzaitis. I don't know. So that is going to be registered a single in the Cardinal Newman dugout. They were asking me about that. Game Changer still trying to make a decision on Mellis there, as they will check back on the runner. Caden Owen now at the plate. Ethan, what would you say about that? Would you call that a hit or an error?
I believe that is E3. I believe that is an error on the first baseman.
Yeah, the ball just kind of trickled under the first baseman's glove. That is what they're going to call it on Game Changer. So error made there by Ukiah. Tough one. As now Caden Owen comes to the plate. The first pitch is a fastball on the outside part of the dish. Ball one. 1-0 now to Owen. So a tough error there. It was it was almost like a Looney Tunes play there from Ukiah. Slow grounder, first baseman misread it. Second baseman fell on top of it, but it went under him and snuck into right field. It was not a very hard hit ball, almost like a swinging bunt that just had the velocity to creep under. Had a high chop on it, but very interesting. Here's the pitch from Mellis. That one across the knees, but outside. 2-0 now to Owen. Owen doing a great job in plate discipline. Here's the pitch. This one is hit high into left field. In on it is Gibbs. He will range back to his left and make the catch. And so Owen is retired. Wind blowing out to left field, but need a little bit more help for that one. Good piece of hitting, though, from Owen, as now Wood comes to the plate. So now Jacob Wood, he had a productive ground out as Mellis checks on the runner at first. Grounded out to third on what was a basically swinging bunt that brought home a run. Creeping away at first is Volzaitis. He goes. The pitch. It is inside and hits Wood. So he'll take first, and it won't even matter. No throw. Volzaitis moves to second. So disastrous errors here from Ukiah. Puts 2 runners on for the Cardinals now with Brody Cameron stepping to the plate. Cameron singled and brought home a run his last time out. Thank you all for sticking with us here. Hugo Traverso, Ethan Bowers here from Anton Stadium in beautiful Ukiah, California. The sun is starting to creep below the mountains, just off into foul territory down the right field line. And got a beautiful mountain here. It's just a great place to watch baseball, almost like something you'd see out of Berkeley, California at Cal Memorial Stadium. Coach Ford coming out to talk with the umpire, and they're going to communicate. Maybe they're trying to argue that Wood checked his swing and went around there.
I believe that is what they are arguing.
And they will confirm the call. So Wood is at first. Yeah, Wood was definitely like going to swing, but when it came around and hit him, he was very late on the ball, so it didn't even matter as the bat did not cross home plate or even, I don't even think, come close. So now Brody Cameron steps in. The Cardinals are good to go. So Cameron singled and brought home a run last time up. Now runners on first and second. Another RBI situation for him. We'll see what he can do. Mellis checks on the runner at second. He will throw back there. Vozaitis in there safely. Mellis looks in. Cameron waits. Mellis comes center. Checks on the runner at second. Here's the pitch. That one falls in there nicely for a called strike one to Cameron. Mellis comes center. And he will step off to try and get a good look at Vozaitis, but no offering there. Wind's rolling in here in Ukiah. So with the wind chill, it can be pretty tough, pretty cold. Drop down to 57. Going to be as low as 41 today. The pitch, and Cameron lines this one into right field. In on it, making the catch is Brody Ford. And they retire Cameron. So now it'll be Aiden Thistle to come up and try and bring home a run with 2 outs here. After sunset at 7:48 p.m., it will drop to 52 degrees. So it's going to be cold once the lights come on here in Ukiah. They get as low tonight as 44 degrees at 3 a.m. So if you're out doing something at 3 a.m. on a Tuesday, watch out.
What would you be doing it?
I'd be sleeping.
That's a great answer.
Thistle, the righty, waits, righty on righty. The pitch. Thistle grounds this one off to the third base side. Great play made by the shortstop, Dawkins. His throw on to first is in time. So the Cardinals bring home none on no hits, 1 error, and 2 runners left on there. And Jackson Mellis has definitely been able to clean it up. It'll be Ukiah's bottom half of the third when we come back. Wildcats trying to bring this thing back, only down 5-2. And we're back here at Ukiah Anton Stadium. Marky Douglas back on the mound for his third inning of work. For Ukiah, it will be the top of the order in Devon Dawkins, Chase Galletti, and then George Gibbs, who had that great homer. We'll see how Newman chooses to attack him the second time through the order. Douglas now will get things started. Dawkins grounded out to Caden Owen back in the first. So to start the third, he's looking for a different result. Here's the pitch. That one, a nice called strike breaking ball that falls right into the zone. Douglas has just been stellar this year for the Cardinals. Douglas kicks and delivers. That one is just outside, a 1-1. Ethan, you were mentioning the injury bug definitely hit Newman this year, and we'll get to that in a moment as Douglas comes center. Markey working really quickly here. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Beautiful breaking ball. Gets the swing and miss. 1-2. But yeah, the injury bug definitely hit. It hit with you, your ankle, and Caden, Anthony Azevedo we talked about, Miles St. Clair. Some key players with this Newman squad definitely down with injury as Douglas comes center. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Devon Dawkins is sat down swinging. And it'll bring up Chase Galletti. But yeah, I mean, how's the recovery been for you? I mean, you're still in the boot, but you'll be back on Friday from what I've heard.
Yeah, about 2 months, 2.5 months after surgery currently. I feel great. Ankle feels strong. Ready to be back out there in a shoe on Friday. Ready to get back out there with the boys.
As this one is grounded out to third. The throw on to first in time for Volzaitis, and Galletti is retired. But yeah, that should be good to see you back out there. You've been great, and I mean, honestly, with the way Newman's been and how the roster has gone this year, the starting lineups, I mean, could see you back there in the starting line at any point this year. You had a good fall and a good winter, so we'll see how spring plays. As now George Gibbs comes up. Here's the pitch. Fastball in there. Nope, inside, umpire says. Gibbs had to collect himself after that one. Had a home run his first time up that put Ukiah on the board. Here's the pitch. That one is outside, 2-0. Yeah, now you'll see Anthony Azevedo out there soon. He's throwing a bullpen today here in Ukiah, so maybe on Saturday. Be good to see him back out, and Gibbs steps out and calls time. Anthony, he's had a pretty unique recovery.
Yeah, thank goodness to the trainers at this school. One of the best in the area. Throwing bullpens right now. Should see him throw maybe 1 or 2 innings if all goes well this Saturday. So it should be fun to see him bounce back and get back to the ace form that he was in last year.
Yeah, that'll be good, and as Gibbs fouls that one off to the right, Douglas collects himself and fires again. This one is grounded up the middle, and it'll sneak through into center for a base hit. So George Gibbs, fiery start to start things off, a homer and a single, and now it'll bring up the lefty, Connor Cleary. So Cleary got that mustache in full swing here. Here's the first pitch. This one grounded softly to first base. Caden Owen calls off Douglas. He collects it and takes it to first. So the third unassisted first baseman ground out for the Wildcats brings the end of the inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 runner left on for the Wildcats. Newman holds strong in this one, 5-2 as we head to the 4th. And we're back here. It is going to be Chavez, followed by Bone, and then Woolley for the Cardinals. A bit of a wind tunnel here in Ukiah, where we are, which is just near the Cardinal Newman dugout. It's blowing out to right field, and then the flag, though, is blowing out to left center field. So, going to be interesting to see, how the ball hangs up in the air here as Mellis fires his first pitch to Chavez in for a called strike. Chavez showed bunt and then pulled it back. He grounded out to second back in the first. Here's the pitch from Mellis. That one is outside, 1-1. 5-2 the score here for the Cardinals. They lead. Here's the pitch. That one is upstairs and outside to Chavez. Chavez has done an exceptional job so far of taking pitches. Mellis, check on his pitch count. He's up. He's only about 40 pitches despite that big first inning. Cardinals really did not take him the distance in that first inning. A lot of 1, 2, 3 pitch at bats. The only 6 or 7 pitch at bat was Colin Bone. So now Chavez takes that one outside. 2-2. 2-2 the count. The pitch. That one in there. Called strike 3. And so not the greatest start for the Cardinals to start the fourth, but now it's the top of the order. Chavez walking back. Some resilience on that one. Not happy with taking there at the knees, but a good pitch nonetheless from Mellis. Here's the pitch. And that is a breaking ball that strikes right through the zone. Oh, my goodness. On Colin Bone, great first pitch to start things off. The 0-1 now to Bone, the righty. Pitch in there, called strike 2. He's 0 for 1 today, but he's got some home run power, and we'll see if he can do it out to that 339 sign out in left field. So pitch now is low to Bone. So 1-2 now. Mellis about to throw pitch number 45, the pitch. Swing and a miss. Breaking ball gets Bone's bat going early. And 2 up, 2 down by the way of the K. For Mellis, Jackson Mellis cruising here in this fourth inning. He's really found his stride.
Yeah, command is obviously a lot better from the first inning. Stuff was hanging over the plate. Leaving it up and in, which is a lot of the guys on Newman's lineup, their power zone. So it's great to see him get his command back and control.
Yeah, and the first pitch to Jace Woolley skips in the dirt. It's a little low. Woolley 1 for 2. Here's the pitch. He lines this one down the left field line, and fair. It'll trickle out into the corner. Woolley rounds first. He's headed for second. The throw is just off to the right of second base, and checking in with a 2-out double is Jace Woolley. Newman's back in business. So now we'll bring up Will Pratt. Ethan, you were talking about it. He has the worst luck out of this Cardinal Newman baseball team. Last time up, had a beautiful line drive that was just cut off and caught by Devon Dawkins over at shortstop. It's a guy that, as you mentioned, when he hits it, just finds a glove.
Yeah, he reminds me a lot of 2011 Orioles Chris Davis. On a little bit of a cold streak right now, but the bat is as hot as ever. Leads the team in a lot of stats, especially exit velo, and just like we see in that foul ball there, that was laced. But yeah, he a lot of hard contact, just right to guys, right to the gloves. But nevertheless, a great player.
Yeah, 0-1 now to Pratt after he fouls that one off to the left. Stands in now. His brother plays tennis, so they've got that upper body and hip mobility. The pitch. This one is grounded to short. Play is made by Dawkins on to first in time, and that retires the side. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 runner left on base for the Cardinals. So it is turning into a bit of a defensive showcase here as Marky Douglas heads out for his 4th inning of work. We'll be right back as Ukiah looks to cut the deficit. And welcome back here from Anton Stadium in Ukiah. Wind is starting to blow a lot more as the sun just fades over the mountains out in right field. And so it's going to get a lot colder. Sunset here is 6:40, but it's an hour earlier or an hour later in downtown Ukiah. So definitely plays to a very nice atmosphere here, a Field of Dreams like atmosphere here at Anton Stadium in Mendocino County. Marky Douglas faces Carippo, and his first pitch is inside now to Robbie. Douglas shrugs his shoulders, breathes, and delivers. Swing, and that one's a foul tip right into the glove of Wood. Douglas currently at about 44 pitches, about to throw his 45th. Jackets are coming on here. Here's the pitch. That one is across the knees. Called strike 2. Called strike 1, excuse me. Nope, strike 2. Cold is getting to me. All right, 1-2 now. Here's the pitch. Swing, and this one is fouled straight back. It'll go off of the roof here at Anton Stadium and off the back. Wind blowing out to left field. Carippo, the righty, could take advantage of that. Douglas collects himself, comes center, kicks and fires. Swing, and that one is fouled off. So Carippo battling, had a single back in the second. He is 1 for 1. Was the leadoff man in the second. Now the leadoff man once again in the 4th. Ukiah in the 3rd inning had the same leadoff they had in the 1st. And in the 4th inning, the same as the 2nd. So this pitch, Carippo laces that one down the left field line and foul. It's kind of hard for us to see. Bit of a tough vantage point as we have a shed blocking our view of about 30 feet of the left field foul line. Only one player without his jacket on here, and it is the one and only Cody Mueller for the Newman Cardinals. Douglas kicks and fires. That one is upstairs. Great eye there from Carippo.
Cody's such a great glue guy for this team.
Yeah, he seems to really be the spirit of the team. As now Douglas comes home. This one is a high chopper down the third base line, fielded by Volzaitis. Throw on to first is in time. And Carippo is retired, but he does a lot of damage into Douglas's pitch count. And now it will be going to be Ivan Castro, who had a nice sacrifice bunt. The pitch, and that one is inside for a ball. We do have a pinch hitter here, I believe. No, it is Ivan Castro. Excuse me. Yeah, Cody Mueller, he's really been a guy who's very determined as Douglas fires that one, and it is lined into left field. It's going to get down into the gap out there in the alley. It'll caress itself against the wall. Coming around second and holding up. Going to third. A nice one-out double there for Ivan Castro. Lightly touched the wall and kind of just stopped there, but great job collection and firing in from Devlin Chavez. But a nice job there by Ivan Castro. Just the third hit of the ball game for Ukiah. Excuse me, the fourth. Now Bo David comes to the plate. He struck out looking last time up. Yeah, Cody Mueller, he's really, like you said, he is a very, like the biggest of glue guys. He's very determined. He's someone that, you know, might not have seen a lot of playing time, but he's someone that really stayed with the team. Here's the pitch, and that one is a big swing and a miss now to David.
Yeah, he is a great teammate, great person outside of baseball. You see him outside of school, and instantly gives you a smile. You know, best friends with Clemson commit Jordan Johnson as well. So he's just a great guy to be around.
Douglas kicks and fires. That one is low and outside. Douglas gets it back. David, 1-1 now coming to him. With one down, runner on second. 5-2, Newman leads. Here's the pitch. David, swing and a miss. Douglas blows it right past him. I think Douglas, he has that fastball. It's been working with him. If he can gun it past him one more time, get him one step closer to stepping back in the dugout. Very cold night here. I got to watch out. I got a swim meet tomorrow, so right here in Ukiah against the Wildcats going to be very cold. Here's the pitch. Swing, and this one is grounded straight up the middle into center field. Coming around the bend is Castro. He will come in and score. The throw in is late, and it is 5-3. An RBI single there from Bo David. And Ukiah creeps closer once again. Douglas checks on the runner at first, which is David. Here's the pitch now, coming to Ford. That one's in the dirt. Ford singled and brought home a run his last time up, so if Ukiah can string some stuff along, this is a very resilient team. Douglas fires, and that one is blown right past the swinging bat of Ford. 1-1 now with one down. Douglas kicks and fires. Swing and a miss. Douglas. Now comes center. Runner on first is David. 5-3. Newman leads. Ukiah creeping back. David takes a big lead. The pitch. That one is in there. Struck him out looking. Ford is sat down on strikes. And now a huge strikeout there for Douglas as they step just a bit closer to getting out of the inning. And now Ollie Adams steps to the plate, the lefty. And folks, this would be pretty improbable, but if Adams is retired, that will mean Ukiah has the same leadoff in the first, third, and fifth. They've already had the same leadoff in the second and fourth. maybe we have a bit of a trend forming here. Adams, high chopper, skips into the glove of Woolley. Throw on to first in time, and we will see it in the 5th. The top of the order will be for Ukiah. We'll step aside here, though, and head to the top of the 5th, where it will be the power alley once again for the Cardinals. Volzaitis, Owen, and Wood. We'll be right back. Welcome back. It is still Mellis on the mound for Ukiah. And cruising to the plate is Jamie Volzaitis. The lights are in full effect. Sunset taking hold here in Ukiah. Exit light, enter night. And now it'll be Jamie Volzaitis trying to be the Sandman here for the Cardinals. Bring some dreams, and the Cardinals give them a bit of a cushion. Here's the pitch. Volzaitis lines this one over the shortstop, Dawkins, and into left field for a leadoff base hit. He is now 2 for 3 with reaching all 3 times with that error. And now to be Jacob Wood, or excuse me, Caden Owen coming to the plate, the big lefty. Wood on deck. And then we'll see. We might have a bit of a pinch hitter here for Cameron. Nope, actually Cameron is going to get his stuff on, and we're going to see, we might see a mound visit here. Maybe a pitching change for Ukiah. Yep, we're going to see a pitching change here. So Mellis goes 4 innings, gives up 5 runs. All 5 were earned off of the Cardinals. Off the Cardinals' 7 hits. So 4 full for Mellis, 7 hits, 5 runs, 5 earned runs, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts, and he pitched 51 pitches, and 38 were strikes, folks. So not a bad year, or not a bad day for him. Jackson Mellis steps off, and now coming in for the Wildcats, he's been warming up since the first inning, is going to be none other than Cale Fennessy. 6'5", 220-pound right-hander.
Jamie's hitting exactly 500.
Well, that's good to know. Thank you.
Yeah.
Jamie
I just did the
Volzaitis,
math. I'll talk about that.
he's been incredible.
That's insane.
But yeah, I mean,
Where is Jamie? Oh, he's on base.
He's been incredible this year.
He's
And
been on
just
fire.
he has been on fire. So we'll see. I mean, can he keep it up? Fennessy has a 4.67 ERA in 6 appearances, 9 innings pitched, 6 hits, allowed 6 runs, 5 walks, 16 strikeouts, though. So he's coming with some gas, and we'll see if the Cardinals can So now Caden Owen will strut to the plate. The lefty got 289 out there to right field. Big lead for Jamie Volzaitis. Here's the pitch to Owen. That one is upstairs. Volzaitis will head to second. He was on the go, but they're going to call a balk. So Volzaitis moves to second on that one. So Owen now with an RBI situation. Thank you all for tuning in. Big shout out to one of our viewers tuning in, Sean. Thank you, Sean. As Owen fouls this one off to the left, it'll head towards the dog park here outside of Anton Stadium. But yeah, Sean, we love you. Thank you so much for all that you do for us. So you're incredible. We wish you were here.
Yeah.
Fennessy comes center. Owen, the left-handed hitter. 0-1 now. And Fennessy will step off to check on Volzaitis. This could be a disaster here for Ukiah. With he's been balking a little bit. Could see a bit of a problem here with Fennessy, but a great breaking pitch. Recovering. Cade Larson on the ladder here. He will come in to hit for Aiden Thistle. Owen, the lefty. And they will check on the runner. They will check on the runner at second. He is back in time, Volzaitis. Larson so far this year, not yet to get a hit, but could change his luck here as breaking ball fouled off there by Owen. Owen waits the pitch. Swing, and this is a hard grounder that skips over the glove of Bo David at first, into right field, flood by Ford, in to score is Jamie Volzaitis, and Caden Owen delivers not once, but twice in his return. Newman back on the board, 6-3, excuse me.
Dugout is feeling it tonight.
Yes, they are. It might be cold weather, but they are as hot as ever. Here's the pitch. Wood shows bunt. That one is up high, 1-0. Or excuse me, 0-1. We're going to call that across the letters there for a called strike one. The 0-1. Owen goes. This one is fouled straight back. Great jump there by Caden Owen. We would have seen a very interesting steal there. 6'3", but he can move. And his freshman year, I remember he played football, and Coach Sanchez thought that he had a very, very bright future, but didn't know about his baseball accolades. Wood at the plate. They'll check on the runner at first. Owen quick to get back. Cameron on deck. In the hole is Cade Larson. Then it'll be Chavez. Pitch inside there to Wood. 1-2 now. 6-3 here in the 5th inning. Newman trying to extend this lead. Give Marky Douglas a good spot here in the 5th inning as now Fency will step off. Fennessy gets his sign, collects, and deals. Swing and a miss. Caden Owen on the move. There is not even going to be time for a throw as Owen beat the throw right to the bag. Gets in there with a stand-up steal. Wood, though, swings and misses and is sat down there on strike. So a good recovery here from Fennessy. Owen into scoring position here with 1 down. And Brody Cameron stepping to the plate. He has a single that brought home a run and then lined out to right field back in the 3rd. The pitch. That one drips in there for a called strike. You can hear the wind coming in here in Ukiah, blowing it out to left field. Here's the pitch. That one's upstairs. Owen on the move. He is out! And the catcher, Connor Cleary, gets Owen, and now Coach DiBenedetto, 2 outs now, giving Owen a bit of a sliding clinic. 2-1 with 2 down. Big out there. Here's the pitch. Swing, and that one is fouled off to the right and out of play. So now Fennessy will come back out. So yeah, the wind blowing in here, and my meet time has now been extended to 5 p.m. tomorrow, which is just going to be brutal. Second half of the meet, it's going to be chilly. Here's the pitch. This one is fouled again off to the right towards the bullpen. So Cameron Larson now on deck. Cameron trying to extend the inning. The pitch. That one is upstairs. 3-2, so he's taking Fennessy the distance. Six to 3 your score. Pitch, and that one is outside, and it will be ball 4 for Brody Cameron, as now Cade Larson will come in to pinch hit for Aiden Thistle. Runner on first is Cameron. He walked. So now Coach DiBenedetto making the lineup change official. Larson out there, and then on deck is Devlin Chavez. So Larson, Thistle ends his day reaching on a fielder's choice in the 1st and then grounding out to shortstop in the 3rd. So now it'll be Cade Larson looking for his first hit of the year. Get it at such a beautiful place like this before heading home could really flip his season. Larson waits. Fennessy steps off. See, this is where the MLB, it plays into the step-off limit and the banana ball rules with the pitch count and everything, as now Fennessy checks back on the runner. These Ukiah pitchers have stepped off. I think it's now 8 step-offs for them in the game. Here's the pitch from Fennessy. That one is just outside. Great job there, 1-0. 6-3 your score. Here's the pitch. That one is low again. Larson doing a great job. Here we go. 2-0. Hitters count now for Larson. The pitch. He takes that one down Ukiah Boulevard. 2-1. The 2-1. That one also right down Santa Rosa Avenue. Strike two. 2-2 with 2 down. Fennessy steps off. Would be a big strikeout for him to get out of this inning and loosen the damage. Cameron leads away. He goes. The pitch. That one is outside. Trouble on the transition for Cleary. And into second base with a nice steal there is Brody Cameron. And now coming on into the on-deck circle is Miles St. Clair. St. Clair, another guy that's been punctured with the injury bug. Now Cade Larson waits. The 3-2 payoff pitch. Swing, and he hits that one into right field. Moving over on it is Ford, and he makes the catch. So good swing on that one, but the Cardinals, they add a run. 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, 1 runner left on. So we'll head to the bottom of the 5th as Ukiah will look to pull one back. Marky Douglas headed right back out there.
Dead center off the light pole.
And we're back here in Ukiah at Anton Stadium. It is going to be Devon Dawkins to lead off the 5th inning. Marky Douglas into his 5th inning of work. The pitch. Dawkins shows bunt. That pitch is low at the ankles there for ball 1. Bissell remains in the game in right field. Here's the pitch. Swing, and this one is off to the right and foul. Hits off a fan. Douglas up to 64 pitches now. Newman, no action in the bullpen for the Cardinals. We'll see if that changes. Here's the pitch from Douglas. Check swing, he went. So 1-2 now to Dawkins. The pitch from Douglas. Swing and a miss. That one was in the dirt, and Wood makes the tag. Dawkins sat down on strikes for the 2nd consecutive at-bat, and now that will bring up Chase Galletti. Galletti now at the plate. Very wide stance. Here's the pitch. That one's in there for a called strike. Ethan beginning to dig into his cup of noodles here. Not sponsored. Wish they could. Please sponsor us. It's getting kind of cold out here. Here's the pitch. That one skips in the dirt. 1-1 with one down. How are those noodles?
You know, they're a little warm right now, but on a night like this, it's well needed.
Yeah, Galletti steps back in. Again, wide stance, twitching that left foot. The pitch in there, called strike. Douglas really showing his command as he gets deeper into his start here. Cardinals going to have kind of an interesting schedule this week as they go home to play San Marin on Thursday at 4 and then play Novato on Saturday. Here's the pitch. That one is low in the dirt. 2-2 with one down now in the bottom of the 5th inning. Douglas on the mound. I mean, you could even say Douglas could start on Saturday against Novato as he kicks and fires. Swing, and this one is hit on a slow ground ball. Bone makes the play, throw on to first in time. Great play there by Colin Bone on a shallow grounder. You can never really tell on these natural fields. You saw it last year at Rec Park in the NBL Championship. Just big hops, high careening hops. That really led to some tough plays for Windsor. And they got kind of the bad luck in that game. Newman really opened it up. Jack Pozzolo had, just an incredible start. And Newman just really blew that game open. Here's the pitch from Douglas now to George Gibbs. That one is in the dirt. 1-0. Gibbs homered in the first, then had a single in the third. Here comes the pitch from Douglas. Nope, Douglas will step off. 1-0 now to Gibbs. The pitch. Swing, and this one is lined through the gap between the shortstop and third baseman into left field. And George Gibbs, 3 for 3 on the night. Just seeing that batting average go up and up. Quite the player. Now Connor Cleary will come to the plate. The lefty. And so Miles St. Clair will lead off the inning for the Cardinals to start the 6th, as that one is outside 1-0. Ukiah down 6-3 here, trying to bring one back and salvage a game in this 3-game series. Douglas checks on the runner, comes home. That one is inside at the knees, 2-0 now. Douglas up to 74 pitches with that one. Nobody's still warming up in the bullpen for the Cardinals. Kind of a tough bullpen setup, but got a decent plyo wall. 2-0 with 2 down. The pitch, swinging, that one is fouled off of the helmet of Wood. Takes that one like a champ. George Gibbs over at first. See what the Cardinals' pitching strategy becomes following this inning. If we see Marky Douglas back out after a 76 pitch night. Here's the pitch. That's 77. That one's hitting to deep left field. Going back on it is Cameron. He will range over and make the catch, and the Cardinals retire the side. So through 5, it is 6-3. We'll be right back with the 6th inning of play as the Cardinals look to extend this lead. And we're back here, 6th inning, and it's going to be Miles St. Clair with his first at-bat after coming back off of injury. This is incredible to see. St. Clair has just battled and battled and battled. We'll see what he can do here. And a knee injury, bouncing back off of it. Here's the pitch from Fency. That one is in there, across the letters for a called strike. St. Clair comes in for Devlin Chavez. Chavez likely will still play center field. Here's the pitch. That one's inside. Almost hit St. Clair right around the... (6-3) the lead here for the Cardinals. The pitch. That one is inside. Almost hit St. Clair's knee. That would be no bueno for the Cardinals. 2-1.
Now, Miles has been battling the same injury. Santa Clara kind of cursed him. In the fall, he tore his ACL, recovered from that. Back at Santa Clara earlier in the spring. Didn't fully heal right, so he's been recovering from that, and now he is back and better than ever with his new knee brace.
Yeah, and he leads off there with a walk. A nice, refreshing at-bat for St. Clair. And now Colin Bone comes to the plate. Bone 0 for 2 with a walk. Steps in, lethal hitter, and you look at the man on base. St. Clair slides back into first safely. Takes a nice lead. Bone shows bunt. That one skips in the dirt for a called ball. 1-0 now. Fennessy trying to keep Ukiah in this thing. 3-run deficit right now, 6-3. Checks back on the runner, St. Clair. Ball hits him in the back, but doesn't get a tag on him. 6-3, 1-0. And they're going to call time and send Carmine Guevara, a Ukiah native, I believe, out to pinch run for St. Clair potentially.
Yeah, they do not want to risk anything.
I think, yes, they will. So Carmine Guevara, it works out nice. His brother comes in right as he goes to pinch hit. His brothers have been here, and he'll go and pinch run for St. Clair. A great at-bat for him. St. Clair, great at-bat, great job, gets on base, and now Carmine Guevara, who we've seen his speed on the football field, we've seen it on the basketball court, we'll see it now on the baseball diamond. They'll check back on him again, but the zillionth pickoff attempt for Ukiah tonight. Here's the pitch to Bone. Bone shows bunt and lays down a nice one, but it trickles foul off the left field line. Carmine's brother Devontae, who is a stud safety for the football team and was an absolute beast on the basketball court for JV basketball and is poised for a nice varsity basketball career. He is in attendance, sitting right behind me with his mom. They were at every game this year, whether it be football, basketball, and now baseball. Here's the pitch. This one is grounded to over the shortstop's reach. Moving up is going to be Guevara, and into first with a nice single to piggyback off of that leadoff walk is Colin Bone. That's what we see on these natural fields. You get a shallow grounder that could skip up over your head by about 8 feet. And now Jamie Volzaitis on deck. As now Jace Woolley stands in. 2 for 3 with a single and a double. Here's the pitch. He shows bunt, and he fouls it off of himself. So Newman definitely playing some small ball here, trying to get every run they can. Again, nobody in the bullpen, so we'll see what they look to do. Guevara on second, Bone on first here in the top of the 6th inning. Woolley. The pitch. Woolley swings this one. Shallow fly ball and over on it. Making the play is Ivan Castro at second. Cardinals thought that might have dropped. Guevara got back to the bag very quickly. So Woolley is retired on the pop out to second base. And now with one down and runners on first and second, it'll be Will Pratt. Nobody in the actually, nope. As I say that, someone is headed to the bullpen right now for Ukiah. So we have someone up and going for the Wildcats. As now Pratt is at the plate. The pitch. Breaking ball is just outside to Pratt. We have Vozaitis and then Owen. Pratt waits. Fennessy checks back on the runner Guevara. It's funny, when we were doing some research for basketball season, and we found a picture in the local Ukiah newspaper of Devontae and Carmine on their U12, might have been 12U or 10U All-Star team. And some of these players for Ukiah were actually on that team. So, great reunion here. Newman and Ukiah. Here's the pitch as that one is in there. Called strike to Pratt. (6-3), 6th inning, 1-1 with one down. Runners on first and second, Bone and Guevara. Here comes the pitch from Fennessy. That one is in there. Called strike. Fennessy finally finding his stride here. 1-2. He's up to 32 pitches on the day. We'll see how long they let him go as Ukiah has dismissed their pitcher in the bullpen. He's coming back. Here's the pitch. That one's upstairs. 2-2. So this would be a huge strikeout. Try and get the Wildcats out of the inning, get their bats right back up. They were retired almost in order last inning. Once again for the 6th inning, they'll have the same leadoff man as the 4th and the 2nd. Here's the pitch. That one is just outside to Pratt. So 3-2, full count, runners on first and second. We'll see how the Cardinals look to play this base running wise. Bone on first, Guevara on second. Big lead for Guevara. Here's the pitch. Both runners go, and that is in there. Called strike 3. Pratt is rung up on that one, but both runners go. So a stolen base for Colin Bone, a stolen base for Carmine Guevara. So now runners on second and third for Jamie Vozaitis, a lethal man, 2 for 3. They single and a double. He's got 2 RBIs today. Jamie has been excellent. Fennessy will look in, kick, and fire. That one is outside. Ball 1-0. So it looks like the Cardinals likely will maybe keep Marky Douglas in. Here comes the pitch. That one is outside. 2-0. 7:19 local time here. Sunset hasn't fully bewitched us here, but the winds are picking up, and it is very cold out here at Anton Stadium. Vozaitis takes time here. 2-0 now with 2 down. Volzaitis waits. Fennessy toes the slab, kicks and fires. That one is outside to 3-0 now. They might be pitching around Volzaitis. It might bring up Caden Owen with bases loaded. .335, 289 to true down the line, but 335 gets up there. It runs kind of perpendicular there as Volzaitis puts a charge in this one. Deep center field, over on it is Adams, and he makes the catch. And despite the leadoff base runners, Ukiah gets out of the inning. No runs, 1 hit for the Cardinals, no errors, 2 runners left on base. And we will head to the bottom of the 6th here. 6-3, Ukiah trails. And we're back here. Marky Douglas will head into his 6th inning of work, up to nearly 80 pitches here. Cardinals know he can go for a while, and he's been very good tonight, so he will face a different leadoff man as compared to normal. So that breaks the trend in leadoff men, but still the same spot in the lineup. It is going to be his first pitch. Is in there at the knees to Aiden Fuentes. Or excuse me, Alex Fuentes, the senior outfielder, standing 5'10", 185. Comes into DH for Robbie Carippo. The pitch, swing and a miss there from Fuentes. Carippo went 1 for 2. Both times in the leadoff spot. Same leadoff man, or well, same leadoff spot for Ukiah in the 1st, 3rd, and 5th, and in the 2nd, 4th, and 6th. Douglas delivers the 0-2. That one is just outside, trying to get him to chase there. Fuentes doesn't offer anything. Here's the 1-2. Hit him. That one ran inside and hit him on the knee. And he just kind of stood there and let it happen. So now it is going to be Ivan Castro, who had a nice double his last time up, and he's going to look to have the same success. Cardinals are going to now look to send someone to the bullpen. We'll see who they send. You see Cody Mueller walking down there.
I believe Will Pratt is going in.
So Will Pratt, he's done a great job at DH. We'll see what he can do on the mound. First pitch in now to Castro is a called strike. Douglas working quickly here. 81 pitches now. It'd be huge to get a double play if he can get that. Bo David on deck, singled and brought home a run his last time up. Castro waits the pitch. That one's inside. And now Coach DeBenedetti going to call time and go out to talk with his righty. So yeah, Will Pratt will head to the bullpen. He's just going to get warm, doing some runs. So just get ready. Jack Wedge is out there to cover him, and it's going to be Cody Mueller, the bullpen catcher. So just a slow mound meeting here from Coach DeBenedetti, talking with the catcher Wood and with Douglas. Pratt would come in potentially to close things out here. Would be a save situation, 6-3, if he comes in the 7th. Again, the Cardinals, as things change, knowing how they've piggybacked pitchers and they've scheduled pitching, we could see Jace Woolley come in to close, and then Pratt could pitch in future games. But no, it is going to be Will Pratt out there. He's not throwing the full 60 just yet. Just some stand-up stuff now. Now he's going to step off and get ready. Coach Dolph Hess out there. Some long toss. As the pitch from Douglas is outside for a ball. Former head coach of the Sonoma County Crushers. The 1-2 with nobody out and one on. It is Fuentes at first. The pitch. Struck him out looking. Douglas cruising. And he gets another strikeout. That is strikeout number 5 on the day for Markey. And he's back on schedule. And now it's going to be Bo David.
You know, Hugo, especially for the younger guys in the younger core, especially in high school, as the pitch count goes up, you see their control just getting out of hand. Markey Douglas, I mean, his slider is one of the nastiest in league, keeping opponents to a 204 batting average.
Yeah, he's been excellent. He's looking to continue that excellence here as Douglas comes center. He fires. That's in there just on the outside part of the plate. 2-0 now to Bo David. David struck out looking his first time up and then singled his last time. So 1 for 2 tonight. Fuentes leads away at second. This infield has been solid for Newman. We'll see if they can maybe turn 2 on a grounder on the infield. This one is a line drive on a hop into right field. Good relay throw in, though, from Thistle. Holds the runner at second. And Bo David, 2 for 3. Quite the night for him. Runners now on first and second for Brody Ford, who his first time up brought home a run with a single, which struck out his last time. So we'll see if Douglas can bounce back off of that. He's been stellar when put in tough situations. Douglas collects and fires. Swing, and that one is fouled off. So Brody Ford, with the wind blowing out to left field, if he hits it there, and that heads over the wall, we are tied. Game-tying run. Power-wise, no, not the best. Here's the pitch. It's in there for a called strike. But he's got some in him. And a nice throw in from right field. Doesn't look the most powerful guy, but he can really shock you. (0-2) with 1 down. Runners on first and second for the Wildcats. Here's the pitch. That one's in the dirt. Great stop there by Jacob Wood. He's going to throw back to first. The tag is in there in time. And Bo David is retired. David took off thinking the ball went under the legs of Wood, but Wood, who's one of the best catchers, arguably, in the North Bay, makes a great play on it, and David is just pocket picked, stuck in the middle of the base path, and the throw down to first gets him. This pitch now to Brody Ford is fouled off, so now this 1-2 becomes much more manageable as Douglas is one strike away from completing 6 full. Wood made a great play, throw to Owen. It was kind of just a brief moment where both the catcher and the base runner stared each other down and kind of froze. They were a little confused at what happened. The 1-2 with 2 down. Ford waits. Douglas stares in the pitch. Swing and a miss. No, it's fouled off. Just barely foul tipped there. Ball barely touches Ford's bat. Pratt now on the mound throwing full 60. Did excellent against Ukiah his first time against them this season. See if he can come in and close things out, earn a save in the 7th. Douglas checks on the runner, checks again, comes home. The pitch, that one's upstairs. 2-2 with 2 down. Now a runner out on second. 6-3 here in the bottom of the 6th. Douglas stares in. The pitch. Swing, and this one is a soft grounder on the ground to Volzaitis. The throw on the hop, picked perfectly by Caden Owen. And the Cardinals retire the side. They get out of the jam with some excellent fielding. No runs on 1 hit. No errors, 1 runner left on. So we will step aside and be back. Top of the 7th, Caden Owen will lead things off for the Cardinals when we come back. 6-3, Newman leads. And we're back. Due up for the Cardinals is going to be Caden Owen, Jacob Wood, and then Brody Cameron as it stands right now. Cameron's been having some great at-bats, so we'll see what Newman can do, and it'll be Thistle following him. Pratt is back in the dugout. We'll see if they send him out there for the 7th as the first pitch to Caden Owen is fouled off. 0-1 now. Owen, the leadoff batter. 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs, both coming on singles. Umpire calls time. Owen stands back in, the lefty, the pitch. This one inside, almost hits Owen. He gets out of the way. Yeah, Owen, he's dealt with a little bit of some injuries like St. Clair, but he's battled back. Here's the pitch. This one is hit high in the air into left field. Moving over on is the center fielder, Adams, and he is called off by Gibbs, who makes the catch, and Owen is retired to start the 7th. But yeah, Owen, he had a brief pause. Now he's back. he's doing really good. 2 for 4 in his first game back. That's really great. And he's showing off the mastery of first base. A great glove, great defensive first baseman. He's also got some power, and he can be a really strong bat for the Cardinals if he comes alive here. Here's the pitch. This one's outside for a called ball. And, the question you get is, is this team more like the team last year, or is it more like the team back a couple years ago when they made the D1 NCS or D1 NorCals, and they were just excellent? I think they're more like that team back in 2023 when they just, or might have been 22 actually, 22, might have been 23 actually. As umpire calls time, Wood steps off, 2-0. Yeah, they were just excellent. I mean, they were a team that really, they came together at the end, and it was really strong. As that one is upstairs. I'd say the team from 22. Yeah, they came together at the end. Newman has just had a great year, great lineage of baseball players. This one is low, and Wood walks on 4 pitches. So now it'll be Brody Cameron, and that might be the day for Fennessy. Coach Ford going to come out and talk with him. Yeah, what would you say, Ethan?
Yeah, honestly, the chemistry, the way the dugout presence has been, especially from my time in there. I know I'm back here tonight, but there's something about this team is just so special. I get the same vibe as the D1 team.
And now Kenny Week will head out to pinch run, and the mound visit will break. Fennessy stays out there, even though there is bullpen action for Ukiah. They want to keep this a 3-run game. I'm sure Will Pratt a little bit. Will Pratt a little bit might want this to stay a 3-run game. Save situation for him. Douglas is done after 6 innings full. Great night for Marky Douglas, in line for the win. I'll check back on the runner. Oh yeah, pinch runner coming in. Forgot to mention that. Kenny Week for Jacob Wood. Wood will stay in likely. But Douglas's final numbers, we'll get to those in a minute, as Cameron hits this one deep into center field. Ranging back on it is Adams. He will make the catch. 2 down now for Ukiah. Douglas's final numbers, 6 full, 8 hits, 3 runs, all 3 earned. No walks and 5 strikeouts. Over 95 pitches he threw, 63 strikes. So solid night for him, as Aiden Thistle will come to the plate. As this one is low, 1-0. Again, your ERA is calculated out of 7 innings in high school, not 9. So 3 and 6 is almost accrued to giving up 3, 4, and 8, which is a pretty solid night. 1-1 with 2 down. Here's the pitch. This one is fouled off to the right. So Thistle now, the 1-2 count to him with 2 down. Runner on first is Weak. Fennessy looks in, gets his sign from Cleary. The pitch now coming to Thistle. Weak on the go. The throw down from Fennessy is not in time. Off to the left of second base. Good job getting there by Dawkins to cut that off. And now a runner on second. 2-2 with 2 down. A base hit likely makes it a 4-run game here for the Cardinals. And they'd love some of that extra cushion with Devlin Chavez on deck. Here's the pitch. That one's upstairs. So Fennessy coming a little open, releasing the ball a little early. 3-2 with 2 down. Here's the payoff pitch coming from Fennessy, and he steps off. And now Cleary will come out to talk to his righty. Ukiah will face Windsor in a 2-game series here at 7 on Wednesday, and then at Windsor on Friday at 4. First game they played against Windsor was back in the Rabinovitz tournament at Monty, which they ended up winning. They beat Windsor in the semifinals 6-5, then went on to beat McKinleyville 16-1. The payoff pitch is fouled off by Thistle. They went on to beat Arroyo too. But they're gonna in league though, they lost to Windsor 14-7 following that Arroyo win. So we'll see. I mean, Windsor is a very, very good team, but so is Ukiah, and it could really shake up league standings, give Newman some more cushion as they'll face Windsor the following week. Here's the pitch. That one's inside off of the thigh of Thistle as he walks. On a hit-by pitch, he will head to first, and now Devlin Chavez will come to the plate. So you've got runners on first and second now with 2 down. Ukiah playing 3 games in 5 days. They're going to definitely want to conserve their pitching, so they'll keep Fennessy out here. That might change if they tie things up in the 7th. Now top of the order due up for the Cardinals coming next. We might see a pitching change if Chavez is able to reach base, and now Colin Bone would then be up to bat. Lefty Chavez, here's the pitch. He lets that one go, and the throw down from Cleary is over the head of Castro at second, and heading into third as that ball trickled into shallow center is Kenny Week. So now runners on the corners for Chavez, and a ball, a single here plates a runner most definitely. Devlin Chavez at the plate, 1-0. Pitch is outside, 2-0. Fennessy, if he's able to retire Chavez, he'd finish 3 full with 2 hits, no earned runs, no runs allowed, 3 walks, and 2 strikeouts. That pitch is inside, almost hits Chavez. That is ball 4 on the scoreboard, but ball 3 here. Fennessy up to 58 pitches. This probably sidelines him for the rest of the week, unless he can get something in on Friday. So they'll check on Week. Some miscues for Ukiah could cost them. That one is listed actually as an error on the... That was actually listed as an error on Cleary. So 3-0 now to Chavez. We'll see if they give him anything to hit here. Buffet count to Devlin. The pitch. That one is in there. Called strike across the letters. Chavez was ready to walk, but it's pulled back. Will Pratt likely coming in to pitch in the 7th, bottom for the Cardinals. Cleary thought about throwing down as Thistle went on that one, but Thistle is into second with a stolen base. So now Chavez steps in, 3-2 with 2 down. They're thinking about renaming Chavez Ravine at Dodger Stadium. You know what? You might not be a Dodgers fan, but at this point you might as well rename it Devlin Chavez Ravine. 3-2 with 2 down. The pitch. That one is low, and Chavez walks.
It's a great take.
I'll be honest with you, Ethan. It's so cold out here, I don't even know what I'm saying anymore.
You can always share my cup of noodles, Hugo.
Yeah, that would be, it's very warming. So now bases loaded for Colin Bone. We'll see if Ukiah looks to make a change. Nope, they're going to keep Fennessy out here. Bone singled and stole a bag last time he faced Fennessy. And now with bags juiced, a waterfall could form here for the Cardinals. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Big cut there from Colin Bone. Jace Woolley on deck. Power alley opening up for the Cardinals. Here's the 0-1. That one's upstairs. Fennessy having some trouble with control here as his outing lengthens. Thank you, Tom, for tuning in. Bags juiced. Fennessy looks in and fires. Swing, and that one's fouled back from Bone. So it is Chavez on first, Thistle on second, Week on third. 1-2 count coming to Bone with 2 down. Bone collects himself. Here's the pitch from Fennessy. Swing, and that one's fouled off. Remains 1 and 2. Bone keeping his bat in the zone long enough to foul that one off, really wanting to bring in some runs, give the Cardinals some cushion as they look to sweep Ukiah here in 2026. The pitch. That one's fouled back yet again. Bone seems to be on it. Fennessy has some nasty breaking stuff. We'll see if he chooses to use it. 1-2 with 2 down. Bags juice. The pitch from Fennessy. Got him looking. Struck him out on a breaking pitch at the knees. And Calif Fennessy keeps Ukiah in it. 6-3. When we come back, it'll be Will Pratt heading to the mound for the Cardinals. And Newman will look to close out and sweep Ukiah in league play for 2026. And we're back here, 7th inning. Will Pratt will toe the slab, look to close things out, save opportunity. Of course, Marky Douglas in line for the win, and Ethan has a little bit more on Will.
Yeah, you know, we've been talking about Will's hitting all night, which, you know, we got to talk about his pitching too. In 17 2/3 inning pitched, he has 18 Ks with a .79 ERA.
He has been more than excellent and will look to be a big part of this team's rotation next year. And a great line of pitching coming for Newman. You've got, obviously, Douglas, who got the start as a sophomore. You've got Cooper McIntosh, who's also a sophomore, who's been getting some innings for the Cardinals. And then you have a good line of juniors following, obviously, Haile and Azevedo here, the seniors. So really a good mix of pitching for the Cardinals and a deep mix of pitching, one of the deeper Cardinal pitching staffs that we've seen since back when that team won the Boris in 2022, or excuse me, 2023. So it is going to be, we'll give you Calif Fennessy, assuming that was his last inning. 3 innings pitched, 2 hits, 0 runs, 4 walks, and 3 strikeouts. So now Will Pratt steps on. His first pitch is in there for a called strike to Ollie Adams. Pratt save situation here with the Cardinals up 6-3. Here's the pitch from Pratt. That one is low. Ball 1-1. Pratt really diced up Ukiah the last time he was here. 6 innings in relief and was just excellent. Pratt waits, he fires. This is a bunt down the left field line. Will Pratt, he's got some velo, a lot of gas there, Ethan.
Yeah, this young core is with the pitching staff we have and the amount of mentors that are seniors as well on this team. And, you know, especially some of the juniors, too, like Markey. Markey's very exposed in the baseball and pitching world, so he gives very good insight on how to adjust and how to adapt to situations.
Yeah, Pratt now working with the 1-2 count to Adams. He kicks and fires. Adams checks his swing and fouls it off. Staying alive. That is what Ukiah wants. They've got George Gibbs batting likely in the 4 spot right now, so they want to get him up with runners on. The pitch from Pratt. Check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did! Pratt sits down Adams. That is 1 down. Newman, as I mentioned, will head home Thursday at 4 p.m. to play San Marin in what should be a fun game. Their first game against a Novato team for the week. Their second game will come on prom day at 10 a.m. on Saturday against Novato. So that one is in the dirt from Pratt to the leadoff hitter, Devon Dawkins, who's 0 for 3 today with 2 strikeouts. Currently 6 runs, 9 hits, no errors. Pratt fires this one. That one is fouled off to the right and out of play. Ukiah, 3 runs, 8 hits, 2 errors currently. Game time has crept into the 2-hour mark. Currently 2 hours and 18 minutes. 1-1 now from Pratt on the way. That hit him. Ooh, it's a tough one. And Devon Dawkins reaches base. So that means that George Gibbs could potentially be coming to the plate for Ukiah. And they're going to hope that Chase Galletti gets on base to give Gibbs a chance at tying this thing. Now it's going to be Chase Galletti. And pitching coach Mike Flower is going to head out to the mound to talk things out with Pratt. So home plate umpire going to head out there and talk things out with Coach Flowers and usher him back to the dugout. So now 1 out. And it is Devon Dawkins on first after the hit by pitch. Will Pratt retoves the slab. Comes the pitch from Pratt, and that one's low. Skips in the dirt. Ball 1. Galletti 0 for 3. Popped out to the pitcher back in the first, then grounded to third, and then grounded to shortstop. And now pickoff move. And just in under the tag is Devon Dawkins.
You know, in an at-bat like this with the hitter known as George Gibbs, this guy's been grounding out on off-speed, getting out in front, you know, grounding out to both shortstop and second base. What you want to do is set up that outside low and away. Get him to chase. Get him to ground out to either Owen at first or Jace Woolley at second to really win this game.
1-1. They'll check on Dawkins again. Yeah, you don't want to get Galletti on with, as you mentioned, lethal hitter like George Gibbs on deck. 1-1 with 1 down. 7-6. 6-3 your score. There's a called strike. 1-2 now. 6-3, Newman leads the 7th inning here. It is a chilly night here in Ukiah as the sun is setting and it dims here at Anton Stadium. Pratt delivers. That one is fouled straight back. Pratt battling here against Galletti. An out here would be huge, as the Cardinals would be one step away from getting the victory. The pitch. Outside. Newman thought that was a called strike 3. I think a lot of us thought that was a called strike 3, but no offering there from the umpire. 2-2 with one down. Pratt checks on the runner at first. Kicks and fires. That one at the ankles. 3-2 now. Galletti battling. Ukiah doing a great job staying in this game, staying in at bats. All it takes, though, is a ground out here. A grounder in the infield, and the Cardinals could do it. The pitch. Swing. Grounder in the infield. Fielded by Caden. He gets one at first. Throw to second is not in time. Dawkins, a quick runner, gets over there.
Does the job. Does the job.
Yeah, so now a runner on second. It gets an out. It denies Ukiah a chance of bringing up their best hitter in a tied ball game situation. But no, 6-3, runner on second, and it is George Gibbs, who's 3 for 3 with 2 singles and a homer. Two down. Dawkins at second here in the bottom of the 7th. Cardinals are 1 out away. Pratt, the pitch. That one's in the dirt. 1-0. Gibbs trying to extend the game here for Ukiah. If he gets on base, then Cleary would be the tying run. The pitch. Gibbs hits a grounder. Hard. Picked up by Woolley. The throw to first in time. And that's the ball game. Newman gets the win. They move to 7-8 on the year. Ukiah drops to 10-6. The Wildcats will play Windsor here on Wednesday. Cardinals move to go home on Thursday to play San Marin at 4. But Newman sweeps Ukiah for the 2026 league year. The final totals: 6 runs, 9 hits, no errors. Ukiah 3 runs, 8 hits, 2 errors. The Wildcats left 6 runners on base. The Cardinals left 10. And we'd like to thank you for tuning in and being a part of the broadcast. Marky Douglas gets the win. Will Pratt gets the save. The loss goes to Jackson Mellis. Pratt's final numbers: 1 inning pitched, no hits, no runs, no errors, no walks, 1 hit batter, 1 strike, 17 pitches, 10 strikeouts. Great outing for him. Ethan, any final thoughts?
Yeah, I thought, both teams fought hard. Both teams played very well at the start of the game. Newman's offense, their 1 through 5 always is red hot. And, with Jamie, Bone, and Woolley continuing to pass the torch to each other to make sure that this team keeps generating runs, hits, and making sure that we stay successful in league. The bottom half of the lineup, they're doing their job. They're playing great defense. They're playing great baseball all around, and they're definitely coming in clutch with situations with the runners on in scoring position.
So Mellis moves to 1-1 with the loss. The win, Marky Douglas moves to 3-2 on the year. And Will Pratt picks up, I believe, his first ever save for the Cardinals. Big margin there, big mark for him. And we will bid you adieu here from Anton Stadium in Ukiah. Be back on YSN 365 on Thursday. It'll be myself and Paulo Maravilia on the call for that one as Newman takes on San Marin. Thanks for joining me, Ethan, For one final time for Ethan Bowers, I have been Hugo Traverso. Newman gets the win 6-3. We wish you all a great night. Stay warm out there. Adios.